Everybody, it's time for the shop. Everybody, it's time for the shop.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Decide, Commit, and Resolves, The Shop. I am super excited. I'm super pumped up because I got my homie, my dude, my brother from another mother, my man Daniel Sterling. Man, thank you for being on the shop, bro. Man, I really appreciate you coming on. Guys, I'm telling you, it is such a blessing to have this young man here on the shop with me. Me and him have grown to really become really good friends. We just like I said before, brothers from another mother. I love this man to my heart. Really appreciate all he's done for me and my family. So, I'm just glad to have you on the show, man. So, how you been, bro?
I'm taking it one day at a time, man.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Well, I'm glad you're on the show. So, guys, we always like to let you guys, know what we got going on, what our topic is going to be about today. And today's topic is basically life after prison. Life after prison. I myself, I've been in jail before. I spent some time in there, and I know what it's like once you come out. And so our brother Daniel Sterling has so gracefully came on our show to give us some insight on what that was like and how he overcame those obstacles. So Daniel, man, tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Well, I come from a single parent home. Just my mother, me and her and my older brother Andre. She did the best she could to take care of us, and we just took life as it was given to us by God, and we took it one day at a time, and thankful to be here this day.
Amen. So, take us down memory lane for a minute, Daniel, and tell us what it was like as a teenager growing up in Dothan, Alabama. What it was like as a teenager.
Well, you rather have it raw and uncut, or you want to filter?
Just a little mixture.
Well, as being a teenager in, you can imagine in a small town area, as far as Alabama to be particular.
Yeah.
It had its pros and its cons.
Okay.
There was a lot of young black men that was raised in a single parent home, and the parents did the best they could to survive.
Yeah.
We have some that was raised by, the mom and father, but also it was a struggle.
Yeah.
In that area that I came up in, I was born in the 70s, but the area I really came up in was the 80s and the 90s. And of course, we had our different drug issues as far as affect the community. Yeah. And that was a big pull on me. Also, as my mom being single, being at work late, and we coming home from school and trying to raise ourselves and do homework and finish school.
Yeah.
But we made it through.
Yeah.
And by the grace of God, and of course, I got in a little trouble and I had to do a little time. But through it all, my grandmother, my mother's prayers pulled me through, and I knew better, so therefore I changed.
I got you.
And that's basically a little rundown.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna dig into this a little bit more, and you were saying about being a young guy and all the things that were going on around you, and I myself, what the era I grew up in, it was in the 70s, and some of that same stuff. You're seeing older guys that were supposed to be the cool guys. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to be like them, want to be around them. And those are the guys who was, entertaining the drugs and the women and stuff. And us young guys who want to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely understand where you came from. So let me ask you this. What impact did your environment, the people you saw on a daily basis, what impact did those people and family, what impact did they all have on you growing up during that time?
Well, the impact that my neighborhood had on me, it was basically, it had its strongholds.
Okay.
Also, it had your pushers that influence you, as a young man without having a father figure in your life. It played a key role.
Okay.
I was being pulled back and forth for church and the streets.
Wow.
So therefore you have the devil and God, back and forth. I was raised in a good, strong church home.
Okay.
But the devil has his way to work with you, work with your mind. The street life came to me at a really early age through my brother, He was involved in street life. And, of course, being a younger brother, you want to do what your older brother do. You want to do what your best friends and your uncles do. So, therefore, that was a bad influence on me also. But but also my mom made sure I stayed in church.
Mm.
Regardless of what I had going on, if I didn't make it to church Sunday morning, we had a problem. So no matter how good my grades was, if
Yeah.
I didn't go to church Sunday, I was basically on punishment the whole week. So I'm entertaining my mom and also entertaining the streets, but it was a struggle.
I got you. And that's interesting because there's so many people, so many young guys who are at that point where they're wrestling, they're struggling, they are trying to be one way for home and then trying to be this other image out here in the streets, man. And the image in the streets is what's been taking a lot of our young guys
Yes,
down.
it has.
It really has been. So, what were some of the guys and girls around you into? You know, what was some stuff they were into, you know, during that time, you know, during that teenage age group? What was some stuff they were into?
Well, I had two group of people that I hang with: the churchgoers,
Okay.
okay, and the street goers, as far as the girls and the guys.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the guys, most of them, I say 80% of them was mostly into the streets.
Okay.
Okay, that's mostly into the streets. The girls that was here and there, they was mostly into the streets also because that's all they had. That's all they grew up knowing.
Yeah.
But also I have the group that was more into making something out of themselves and being a better person.
Okay.
Okay, and in that crowd.
Okay.
I try to get in the right crowd and follow the right people, but sometimes we all go astray.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed of the times I went astray, but I thank God that I changed.
Yeah.
The drug epidemic. Once I go back to that, that was the very stronghold with the guys and the girls. You know, I mean, there's no more than that for us. The drug epidemic for us in your neighborhood, as far as that was a bad area for us. The crack area, as far as people was using and selling crack.
Yeah.
You know, the weed epidemic was there, but it was more of a crack area, and I had to develop and grow in that and overcome.
You know, and that's interesting you say that because the where I grew up at, it was a real. It was in the time I grew up in the mid, you know, early '80s, mid '80s. It was all about the marijuana. You know, there was a few people who was hustling crack, but it was all about the marijuana, and that's what, you know, as teenagers we started dealing in, you know, started smoking or whatever. But when crack came, it just changed the game up.
Yes, it did.
You know, it took a lot of people down. I mean, a lot of people made money too, but it was serious, man. And as I just reflect back on being a young person, and I remember some of the older guys I looked up to who we played ball with and stuff, some of those guys, some of the strongest guys that we thought were strong got taken down by it. So, I mean, and you were saying how it was opposite in your area.
Yes.
That's crazy. That's crazy how, you know, it's different from, you know, different areas. So what was the girls you had, you know, you mentioned the girls, you know, some of the girls in the streets too. You know, what were they hustling also?
Yes, we had a couple of girls that was out there that was hustling, but in that area, the narcotics or the police officers wasn't used to girls.
Wow.
So they got away with a lot of things.
Okay.
And us as young men that time, and we used them as a scapegoat, you know, because they would come and grab us, but they wouldn't grab the girls.
Okay.
You know, so that's why I said in that nature, for the girls, they got away with it more than we did.
I got you. So let me ask you this. This show, you know, is about life after prison. And so what led you up to, what was your lifestyle like leading up to going to prison? What was your lifestyle like?
I had the basic lifestyle. I would say it was nothing that I was proud of as a young kid. I was jealous in a lot of things as far as not able to have the nice clothes, the shoes, have to wear the same pair of shoes for a year. You know, holy shoes, the Payless shoes back in the era. It was rough. And then leading up to the area for us, me making the wrong change, I would say, as far as committing to the streets. I saw the flashy things, the flashy cars, the money, and I really got introduced to it at school, at all places. Wow. Yes, it was in my community, but it was a guy in school, and he had a lot of money, and people would come to him and get money for recess and things of that nature.
Wow.
And I would ask him, I said, hey man, let me get about $10, $20, $30. He said, all right, you can get it, but you got to pay me back. I said, okay, how can I pay you back? And then that was the introduction.
I got you.
You know, so that was the smooth way of introducing
Gotcha.
me into the game.
Mhm.
And it just went from there. And skip a couple of years ahead, I got with this guy and we made a couple of illegal transactions, and I
Okay.
got into the game, and I had a decision to make to continue in the game
Mhm.
or to go to school.
Yeah,
So I tried to be smart about it. I had a lot of money, so I said I'm gonna enroll myself in private school.
got you.
So I can go to school when I want to go to school, as
Mhm.
long as I'm paying for it. So I enrolled myself in private school, and I did a couple of classes. I didn't make it a full year, so because staying in school, you're missing money on the streets.
Exactly.
Okay, so I withdrew from school. I didn't graduate,
Mhm.
you know, so I dropped out my 11th grade year,
Got you.
and I went full pledge for the streets.
I got you.
And at that moment, I had the mentality of I can't be stopped in a hustler's way.
Mm.
Okay, and I had a little successful run, you know, for
Okay.
a couple of years. I say probably about 5 years, and I did a lot of good moves, which I thought at that time, but later on it was revealed to me, and with God's grace and mercy, they were bad.
I got you.
You know.
I got you.
But even when I was out there in the streets, I wouldn't sell to nobody that was pregnant,
Okay.
my friends' mom, stuff of that nature.
Yeah.
So I said I'm gonna be the good drug dealer.
I got you.
You
I
know,
got
but a drug dealer is still a drug dealer.
It's still
You're
a
still
drug
killing your own people
you. Yeah.
regardless.
Yeah.
And then I got beside myself
Mhm.
and thought I was better than a man
Mm-hmm.
and got comfortable.
Okay.
And I'll never forget when I told myself and I told the girl at that time I was going with, I said, as soon as I get me a house, give me about 5 or 6 cars, and I look at the backyard and I'm like, well, today I don't know which car I'm gonna drive.
Yeah.
Okay, baby, you're gonna drive this car, or homeboy, you're gonna drive this car. As soon as that reality hit me and I
Yeah.
made that move, like a day or two after that, my whole world went tumbling down because
Wow.
I got too comfortable,
I got
got too relaxed,
I got you.
and it led me to prison.
Wow. And you said a lot of different, a lot of key things. And one of the things that stood out to me the most was, how you got introduced being in school. And so for you young people out there, I know you see it. I know you see guys hustling. I know you're looking at the fast money. I know you're looking at the nice shoes and stuff. But, at the end of the day, somebody's going to go to jail. Somebody's going to make a wrong move. Somebody's probably going to lose their life in some of these transactions. And so young people, I really hope that you see this if you're watching. And even some of your old school folks who are still in the game, don't get too comfortable and think that life won't catch up with you, because it will. It's sooner or later, it will catch up. And you said something else too, Brother Daniel, how we're killing our own, with selling to our own people. And it's crazy because too often that's what we see on the news. Our young people, going to jail, our older people, dying of overdoses and stuff. We see this too often, man. And so, young people, I hope you guys are taking heed to this. So, what was your transition like going from being free and doing what you want to do, how you want to do, to being incarcerated? What was that transition like?
It was very hard at that moment in time. I was actually, when I got caught, I was actually in the streets. I had just got to doing the transaction, and I was out running up and down the highway, and then from that point on, when the officer locked me up, and I knew that I wasn't gonna get out, things changed. I knew at that point that my freedom was pretty much gone, pretty
Okay.
much over, because I had ran for so long, and at that point, nothing else could save me.
Wow.
There's no mother, there's no preacher, there's no father, there's nothing that can save you once you get caught up in the grasp of the hands of the law.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, the first night was my hard night.
Yeah.
I'd been to the county jail, of course, a couple times, but I knew I was get out because I had the money. But this time, I know there was no return.
Yeah.
And doing that transition, and I went to court, and the judge, it was kind of funny, because he just looked at me and smiled.
Mhm.
And I had my mom and my girlfriend at the time, and my kid that was out. And the judge said, "Listen, son," he said, "you done did enough to our community." He said, "Now it's time for you to sit down and do your time."
Mm-hmm.
And I just looked at him and laughed, because I was like, well, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the judge said, "Well, I'm gonna give you 20 for this, 10 for this, 10 for this, 10. It ended up being 45 years.
Wow.
So, but the key factor is when he said, I'm sentencing you 20 to life.
Mm-hmm.
So my whole body got numb, got cold. My mom crying, my girlfriend at the time crying. So this I'm seeing where I can't get to them or help them, and that's my life is gone.
Yeah.
So then when they broke down my sentence, of course I had 45 years. I didn't supposed to get out until I was age 44.
Really.
And but through it all, I cut my time shorter than that. Okay, by doing what I'm supposed to do with the system and filing paperwork and appeals. But nevertheless, my transition in prison, the things that you see in prison,
Yeah.
is no man needs to see.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as far as the homosexual acts and the people getting beat up and cut and stabbed. One time in prison, I was laying in my bunk and I rolled over and I saw a guy look at me, and he had a race to this other guy's name. So being in the system, you don't see nothing, you don't say nothing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's that mentality. So I rolled back over, and I woke up that morning. The guy was dead in a pool of blood.
Wow.
But there's nothing I could do
Wow.
because the guy saw me and what he was acting, he was doing. So I couldn't say nothing. I
Yeah.
held that with me the whole time for a long time.
Man,
You know, to express myself with someone I trusted.
I got you.
You know, and that's basically the role in prison. I can't
Yeah.
go too much into detail.
Of course.
But that's basically it. Away from your mom. The first year, I can't say this. The first year is the most hardest year on anybody that's free being incarcerated. Has a family that loves their family. I mean, Christmas time, what the lonely do for Christmas.
Yeah.
I tore up a couple of radios and CDs on that. But that's the most hard time as far as, you know, being a prison away from your family.
Yeah.
And either you're gonna change and be a better person, or you're gonna stay the same. That's either or in your lifestyle.
And you know, you hit on so many key things, man. And I think one of the things that stand out the most to me is that the fact of how that first night was, and then the things that you saw and how you had to adapt. And young people, you know, I just want to tell you guys this: it is so serious when you get behind them bars. You can't take life for granted and think it's so easy that you can just do these things out here on the street, and then when you go behind, when you become incarcerated, that life is going to be the same. It is not. Everything about you changes, and that's something you really have to take heed of. So, what gave you the strength to make it through those alone times, those lonely times?
Well, whether you believe it or not, like I said, your grandmother prayers and your mama prayers. At that time, I had lost my grandmother before.
Okay.
I got incarcerated, and I'm thankful that I had to go through this while I was incarcerated.
Okay.
But my grandma came to me in a dream, and she just came below my bed and she just said, "Baby, everything's gonna be all right."
Yeah.
And it really touched my soul, and I'm like, "What is grandmama saying?" And that's all she said, and she disappeared.
Wow.
And at that time, I knew what I was raised in, and I knew how I was raised as far as finding God.
Yeah.
So I got involved in church, and I started going to church faithfully. And my closest walk that I've ever had in my life at that time was being incarcerated.
Okay.
Because it filtered out all the mess in the streets, all the women, all the drugs, all the money, everything. There's nothing there but you and God.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and we had our time together. We had our talk together. We had our walk and our peace together. And I was at peace. I was content.
Yeah.
And people were like, "Why? How can you smile and walk around here? You got 44 years." I said, "Well, I ain't worried about God. I got a plan for you." So I all that. I mean, I still stayed uplifted.
Yeah.
Just because I'm incarcerated behind this wall, my mind is not.
Exactly.
So I started changing as far as my conversation with my kids, you know, and for reaching out to them and my family at that point.
So when you got out, was there a difference in the Danielle that came in and the Danielle that came out?
Oh, yes. When I got out, I literally kissed the ground, as people say they do, but I literally kissed the ground.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a week until my time when I left prison. I got a phone call from a guy I knew before I got locked up. You know, he resided down in Miami. And he said, "I know you just hit the street. You're broke. You don't have any money." He said, "I have something for you." So I'm saying, "Okay, no problem." I thought he just called him. So, and I was back living with my mom, and then got a knock on the door about 2 days later, and he tried to drop me off some work. And I looked at him, and my mind saying, "You need this
Yeah.
to get back on your feet." But also, God's telling me, "You change.
Yeah.
You don't need this in your life no more. I'll prepare a better place for you and a better path."
Mm-hmm.
So I told him kindly, I said, "Man, I enjoy what you doing and trying to do." I said, "But that life is not me anymore.
Yeah.
You're adult, can get off my mama's porch and leave."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "I don't want to see you no more in my life." And at that point, that's when I changed.
Okay.
Money was hard. God knows it was hard. Sometimes I was further down from check to check.
Yeah.
I was check cashing to check cashing,
Mhm.
trying to survive.
Yeah.
But I knew at the end of the day, God had something planned
He
for me.
had something planned. That
So
he
my
did.
transition was really hard. But I came out 2 months later. The job I was working with on work lease, I ended up being a supervisor.
Okay.
So that was my transformation in God making ways with increasing pay, a job, a better lifestyle, a car, and then eventually having a place of my own.
Wow. So you obviously faced some struggles when you got out, and you had to stand pretty much and face the devil and look him eye to eye
Oh, yeah.
and say, "I'm not going backwards." So when you begin to stand and start getting this encouragement about yourself, did you have a plan of what you were going to do next?
My plan was I had small term goals. I've learned about small term, long term goals. I didn't reach out to my long term goal. I had small term goals for yearly, every year.
Okay.
And I started achieving my short term goals as far as like getting a car. Okay, then I got a car. Then I got me a place to stay. Okay, I got a place to stay. Then work hard to get me an increase in pay. Okay, find me a job closer to home because I had to travel 45 to 50 minutes to work.
Yeah.
And 45, 50 minutes back from work.
Yeah.
I would get up in the morning, have to be to work at 6:30, then get off at 4:30, then turn around, have to be at my second job at 5:30.
Wow.
Then get off at 10 o'clock that night.
Wow.
So I had my goals planned.
Wow. I mean, that right there says a lot, guys, about the hustle thought process, but in a positive way, and not going back to what's normal or what's convenient, but really doing the hard things to try to overcome and persevere. Guys, I hope you hear that. So, what kept you from returning to that old lifestyle?
Only thing that kept me from returning to lifestyle was God.
Wow.
Things that He saw in my life and let me know that He's still in control and He has a way for me and a better path.
Yeah.
I can also speak recently in the last couple of years, the devil showed his head again. And one of my old friends came up. Never seen him in, like 15 years. He said, "I have something for you. You can take care of business in South Carolina." And I said, "No, I got away from that in Dothan, and I'm not going to return to it in South Carolina."
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you move to.
Come on, man.
It can still follow you.
Yeah.
But the point is, once you have a goal and you have God standing beside you and with you, you can overcome all that.
Man.
So I took my stand and I pushed him off, and I haven't heard nothing else from him.
Wow.
I don't even want to hold a conversation. I'm not saying I'm all this and stuck up, but I would not have a conversation with someone like that because the government and the system is so bad that you can have a friendly conversation with someone that's involved in drugs, and then you caught on a charge as far as having a conversation.
Come on.
And I don't even want to get caught in that matter at all.
Yeah,
I have a
yeah.
family, I have kids, I have a granddaughter, I have a grandson. And that's what I live for now.
Yeah.
For their future.
I got
And
you.
my kids not to go through what I went through.
Yeah.
But if they stumble and fall in the event that they do, I'm still praying for them because it's a change. If I can change, anybody can change.
Come on. And guys, I hope you hear that. Anybody can change. I've been one of them who was the one who hustled and the one who got hooked and addicted. And I'm telling you, God is so amazing, guys. He can change your life. Don't think that you're too far gone or too far out there or you're too far stuck in the game that you can't turn away from it. It's all about making a decision to change your life for the better. Fast money ain't always good money, y'all. Please hear me on that. Fast money ain't always good money. So, Brother Daniel, our last question, man, what advice would you give the young brother, the young sister who's thinking about going to that lifestyle, who's already in it?
As we look at ourselves in the mirror daily, the mirror has two sides. Everything in life is a cause and effect. The mirror on the front side is what you see a reflection. You may see yourself having money, having the glams, having the cars, having the girls, having the guys, so forth and so on. But it also is a reverse side of a mirror. As you look at that front side, you see the light, but every back side of a mirror has a darkness. And that's your life turning into darkness because there's no one I met in this life, and I'm 45, I haven't met anyone that has retired from selling drugs.
Come on, man.
I've never met anyone that's really successful in selling drugs, because drugs in the street life, you're going to end either one or two ways. You go in the grave, or you're in prison for the rest of your life. And I don't wish that upon anyone.
Exactly.
Just because you may be still out there, it's still change that could happen. Never give up.
That's it.
Keep your faith in what you're rooted in.
Mm-hmm.
Never give up. Just because things are hard, loss of money, family, friends, keep your faith in God and your trust, and He'll prepare a way for you. I mean, He's not going to pay any more than you can bear.
That's right.
There's plenty of times in life I wanted to give up.
That's right.
A couple of times in life I wanted to kill myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew I knew who I had faith in.
Come on.
I knew I had trust in.
Come on.
And He prepared a way and made my table. He made my table plentiful. I mean, because I'm 45 now.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't supposed to get out of prison until I was 44.
Come on, man. Come on.
I got out of prison in 2012.
Come on, bro.
Okay, and I've been free ever since then.
You better say it.
So if He can make a way for me, He can make a way for anybody.
You better say it.
I mean, I don't call myself being all this and all that, but I'm thankful every day.
Exactly.
And I don't mind helping anyone in the course in which they're taking to help them to come up, to be able to choose a better side of life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing's too hard.
Wow. Guys, I mean, you heard it right here. Daniel has pretty much laid his heart out and said that there is another way. You can choose another way. You don't have to go that route. You can choose another way today, guys. And I hope you hear this. I hope you allow this message to just marinate in you. We've heard it from my brother here who overcame those obstacles, who thought about, turning back, but made a stand and didn't. And if God can do it, like he said, if God can do it for him, He can do it for anybody. So I want to encourage y'all today to take a long look. If you out there in them streets, take a long look at your life. And if you want to change, go ahead and make that change, guys. Brother Daniel, man, I'm so thankful, man, that you came on the show and you shared your testimony, man. It is such a blessing to see a miracle right in front of us. It's such a blessing, guys. You're looking at a miracle right here. Somebody who stood for it and made a difference. So I like to end all of my shows with a motivational quote. And my motivational quote of thought today is to live your life not in the past, because the past is exactly what it is. Live your life for your future. That's it. That's what you heard today on The Shop. We thank Daniel. If you want to hit him up, look him up on the social media pages. Again, you know where I'm at. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all them cool places, YouTube. Look me up, guys. We got more good stuff coming. I love y'all. Decide, commit, and resolve.